Hey everybody, how you doing? My name's Jarrod Sergi, and I'm a fireman in Norfolk, Virginia, and I'm also the founder of Trial by Fire. I've been meaning to upload this video for a while to the Dark Side Project to help James and what he's doing for the fire service. So, I myself don't feel that I battle with PTSD, and the reason that I don't feel that way is because of some of the things that I try to do in my life to help keep me away from that. So I'll share with you some of the things that have helped me. Much like all of you that watch this, the majority of the people watching this video, I've been on calls that were pretty horrific, things that stuck out in my head that were emotionally charged, that were just maybe just a hard scene to be around that is going to stick in your brain for a while. You know, the ones when you're driving home from work and they're the calls that pop in your head even when it's been 2-3 years since they've happened. So how do we deal with things like that come up, the added stress of these calls before they boil over and our relief valve pops, and we think about things like suicide or going to prescription medications to numb the pain. A couple things that help me is, just like probably anybody would tell you, is talk. I feel like I'm in a very fortunate situation where my wife is a nurse, so she gets a lot of the things that we go through. She knows the type of patients that we encounter. She knows the types of scenes that we come across. So she's a very easy one to talk to about what's going on, and she understands the job that I do. Not everybody's in that position. It doesn't mean you don't find somebody to talk to. So that would be my first piece of advice. Have a conversation, talk about it. Don't keep that stuff bottled in, because there's many forms of stress in our life. That's one, and it might be the worst. So, you know, I had somebody put to me, I was taking a class somewhere, and he said, you know, you're going to add all this stuff in, eventually your relief valve's going to pop. You know, oh, you were up all night on the ambulance, or up all night at the fire station. You know, I love being at a busy company, but those calls, I come home, I want to sleep all day, and my kid's ready to play. There's some stress. I'm tired, I just want to go to sleep, and he wants to play. All right, maybe there's some stuff going on at home. My part-time job, I got things going on. All these little things are adding up till eventually something happens. So have a conversation with somebody about what's going on in your life. The second thing for me is I try to find balance between my work and my personal life. When I get home, I don't always do it, but I try to shut the fire department off as much as I can. Maybe not completely. There's still things, especially for me as a company officer, that I have to stay turned on for, especially for my people. If they have issues that come up, I'm always trying to look out for them, even off duty, if at all possible. But I balance my work and my personal life. I try not to get too consumed with what's going on with my fire department life that it starts to impact my family at home, where I'm not spending enough time with my wife, I'm not spending enough time with my kids. I'm starting to see that the stress at work is starting to pour into my home. For me, that's a red flag. And again, it goes back to talking with my wife and talking things out and trying to leave some stuff at the fire station when I come home. So have a conversation with somebody. Try to find work in your, or try to find balance in your work and your personal life. And the last thing for me is I'll share a story with you. When I was in the Navy, it's a pretty embarrassing story, and it's a pretty horrible story to share with you, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. So it was about, I guess about 15, 16 years ago now. I had a sailor that I was a supervisor for attempt suicide. So word got back to me that this sailor was in this closet somewhere. They found him. So I go there, me and several other people. We open the door and we see that they're covered in blood. There's blood all over the floor. They've sliced their wrists wide open, and they're unconscious, weak, everything else like that, pale. And so got the sailor cleaned up, off to medical, and we all got back to the shop, myself included, and we were saying things like, what an idiot. You know, what is wrong with that person? I can't believe they would do that. How stupid is that? You know, what the hell is wrong with them? We laughed at them, right? We laughed at them. Called that sailor an idiot. You know, how wrong is that? You know, if I can go back and and do that situation all over again, I would do it tomorrow. So unfortunately I can't. So PTSD and this festering wound that is existing in our fire service needs to be addressed. It needs to be talked about. You can't be someone like me who says, what is wrong with this idiot? I can't believe they would do something like that. That's absolutely nonsense. So I think what James is doing with the Dark Side Project, I think what all of you that have contributed to this have done. Another firefighter I know here in Virginia made a video, and he's had people reach out to him with questions and help and advice and all that kind of stuff, thanking him for the video he put up there. So I'm super proud of Jeremy for doing that, for putting that video up there. Again, I think what James is doing here for the fire service with a lot of other people is something that needs to be done. It's probably something that needed to be done a long time ago, but it's good that we're talking about it now. You know, it shouldn't be looked at as if someone were to come to you and say, you know, I think I have some PTSD, and they walk out the room, there shouldn't be a lot of, man, this guy's an idiot. I can't believe he caned me for this. You know, I can't believe he would have PTSD over these types of calls. We all react to things a different way. We all carry our baggage in different ways, and we all deal with it in different ways. And we have to take these things very seriously. We have to identify these red flags before they fester even more, and then ultimately you have somebody committing suicide, or they're on prescription pain meds and they're going down a path that is going to be very, very hard to get out of. So again, my advice to all of you: have a conversation, find a confidant, whether it's your spouse, a friend, a co-worker. Have somebody that you go to and talk about things. Find balance in your work, in your personal life, and try to be able to identify red flags there that are leading you to believe that, you know what, maybe I'm bringing too much stress into my home. I need to go back and talk to somebody, and I need to cut some things out of my work life. I need to focus more on my personal life, whatever the case may be. And the last thing is, this issue can't be so taboo. It needs to be talked about. We need to have conversations about it, and especially supervisors, company officers, if you see this stuff with your people, you need to go out of your way to make sure they're taken care of. So thank you all. Once again, Dark Side Project, thank you for the work that you're doing, and everybody else who's contributed to this this project that James is working on. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Have a great day.